Everything is groovy with this episode of Ash versus Evil Dead when we're talking bait. Now, another entertaining episode, man. I'm loving this series. So much blood, gore, splatter, gore. I mean, and then you have Bruce Campbell back as Ash. I mean, what more do you want? And then you have Sam Raimi heavily, just really into this, and it harkens back to Evil Dead. So in this episode, just to give you a little recap, spoiler review, so you have been warned. Basically, Ash, well, Kelly leaves the little Ash's little motorhome. She goes running off because she wants to go see what's with her dad and her mom. And Ash doesn't want to go. And he's like, "No, I don't want to go. Want to get the book, end this shit, so I can just live my peaceful life." But Kelly seems like she took the book of the dead, and then Ash has to go. Ash and Pablo have to go after her, find the book, and along the way they meet some ghouls or demons. And then they do get to the house where Kelly has her dead mom is apparently alive, and Kelly doesn't think anything of it. And wants to have a nice dinner with her and her dad. And Ash already knows, like, that's a demon. I'm about to sock that chick right now. So yeah, they find Kelly. We find out Pablo's the one that had the book. He just wanted Ash to help. And then yeah, so before I get into the other part, I gotta say also the detective knows Ash is part of all this because she saw a sketch, so she's trying to investigate and try to find Ash as well. This episode, there was one particular thing I was like, what? Like I don't know if I like it, if I don't like it, and that's the camera angle that it had, the direction where the camera seemed like it was placed on Ash's shotgun, his boomstick, and it just was real, kind of a little awkward and odd, but yeah, it seemed like it worked. It works in the realm of the direction with Evil Dead, because Evil Dead definitely has these different kind of angles, and then of course they have that fast tracking shot, a lot of stuff, but overall, I don't know if I did like that camera angle where it was like where the shotgun. It just looked a little bit. It looks like it was a little bit too, kind of a little bit wobbly and just not executed as well as I wish or it could have been. But it just seems a little awkward in that angle. But I don't know if I liked it or not. That was one thing I was thinking of. Also, Kelly. Don't really necessarily care for Kelly, and I think the actress isn't. I don't know if it's just the writing of her character, but she's not that good at acting as well. I just seem like she's blah. She's like the Kristen Stewart to me. And Pablo's pretty cool, but he always has these heroic moments, and then he just goes back to being a wimp, which I think it will change over the course of the series. And then of course Bruce Campbell is what kills the show. He is the one that you tune in to watch. You tune in to watch to take out these demons. I mean, when he like straight out socked Kelly's mom. I was like, oh my god! I know she's a demon, but it'd be so funny if like she wasn't. It would have been so well. That's kind of harsh. I don't want to say that, but it was kind of funny. Like, yeah, if she wasn't, he just straight out knocked her out. Like, it would be kind of funny. But I do love his. He has like the best lines in this series already. Like, I love how he said, "Oh man, I was hoping you were a demon because I was feeling like a real dick right now." Like, he's so sarcastic, such an ass, but he's so charming and charismatic that you just like him because he's such an ass, but you just like him so much, especially when he's talking to Kelly because like, you remind me of me, young, sexy, losing everybody. I mean, it's just hilarious, and him and Pablo work really well together. But hopefully Pablo does start. Well, it was basically his first rodeo where Ash said, "This is not my first rodeo at all." Especially when Ash killed his old boss. I thought that was hilarious. And his old boss was behind him in the car. And I'm assuming you watched this. And he's like, oh, he goes up to Ash, he's like, oh, I never liked you. And Ash pretty much has to kill him with a broken bottle. And he stabs the shit out of this guy. Like, he just keeps stabbing and stabbing and stabbing and stabbing. He even gives the weapon to Pablo, like, here's your weapon, buddy. And Pablo's like, dude, this thing is not going to work. This is not a very effective weapon. You have to keep freaking stabbing that guy. And he's like, oh, I warmed it up for you. That was pretty funny. But overall, you know, this series is just a lot of fun. It reminded me of, it's kind of funny because I've seen something like kind of similar to this, but for that, they don't the tones were kind of everywhere, and that was the Green Inferno. A lot of blood, a lot of you could tell like it was fake and stuff. Some of the scenes like you really couldn't take it too seriously. And that's what Evil Dead is too. The makeup not very, it's not phenomenal, but I don't think it's not meant to be like this. And I don't want to say like I always say like movies that are trying to be like B movies, like that shouldn't be an excuse. But with Evil Dead, it's just its own little thing. I mean, it's definitely just it knows what it is. It's trying to entertain you. It does the best it can by doing so. It gives you blood. It gives you comedy. That's what it is. It's a mix of blood, comedy, horror, and all that stuff. Blood, horror, and comedy. So, absolutely just love this series already. And we're only 2 episodes in. And I think if you love Evil Dead, I think you're just going to absolutely fall in love with the series because you want more. It leaves you wanting more. And like I said, what holds it together is Ash. Ash really holds it together because you want to see this character progress. You want to see where he's going in the future, and because you remember that past. So, absolutely thought this episode was another solid, entertaining one. Can't wait for next episode. Kelly, her parents are dead, which is messed up. Especially the dad who got the fork in the eye. Her mom. Oh, dude, Ash, when he was like beheading the mom, was like, Ash was getting his ass kicked though by the mom. He was getting his ass kicked, but that's all right. But yeah, Ash. I think that's why I think a lot of people like Ash is that he's just a normal human. He's a normal guy who he's not killing demons with a specialized weapon or anything like that. All he kills these demons is a chainsaw and his boomstick, aka Shoddy. Awesome. That's a hero I can get behind because this guy is just he's not even Punisher equipped. He just has a shotgun and a chainsaw and whatever is surrounding him. So good for you, Ash. You are one of the best characters ever made. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Would really appreciate it. Like the video if you like it and comment below. Love to hear you guys' thoughts. If you were watching the series, you should watch it. If you do love entertaining kind of horror, comedy, that type of deal, especially gore, a gore fest. It's a gore fest. There's a lot of blood already in 2 episodes. I mean, there's so much blood. I was thinking the actors that were getting blood constantly sprayed on their face is like, man, Bruce, I remember you telling stories and how the first 2 Evil Deads were so hard. Well, the first one was so hard to make. You had to go through a lot. You're back at it again. And how old are you? And then now the new generation has to really take on all that stuff as well. I mean, there's a lot of blood just squirting at these actors' face, especially Pablo. Poor Pablo, just drenched in blood. And especially when Ash and Pablo come bursting in the door, they find Kelly and her parents. I love how they go, why are you covered in blood? And Ash is like, oh, we had a deer. We hit a deer and it exploded. I had to get rid of him with my chainsaw hand. So funny. All right. See you guys later on Dead Man. Hey, son. And I'm out.